In this video, I'm gonna tell you about how to create project templates in BigPicture that will allow you to kickstart your projects and start working on them with very little overhead. This video is part of our ongoing effort to provide best possible training around Jira, Confluence, and whole Atlassian ecosystem. If you want to support us, like the video, leave a comment, and remember that you can always reach out to us for paid consultations and other services like trainings and implementation. Okay, let's jump into BigPicture. Imagine the situation where you are starting a new project from scratch. You have no tasks that are in scope of this project within Jira. You need to set up everything from start. So I already created a box in BigPicture that represents my project, but now I would have to fill them with tasks. Normally, I could start adding tasks over here, but very often our customers say that they have a pretty standard template. So basically a set of tasks or work that has to be done within each project. So these tasks are basically repeated project after project after project. And yeah, we could create them over here manually, but very often for large projects, this is dozens of tasks. So that would be a lot of overhead. How can we work around that? So what can we do to make things easier and faster? One of the options would be pretty standard for BigPicture. So we could use creation of the tasks from the template. This allows us to create a list of basic tasks and work on them. There are two downsides to that. First of all, and this is the biggest problem, these will be the basic tasks. So these won't be Jira tasks. They won't be visible anywhere outside of BigPicture. And also basic tasks have, compared to normal Jira issues, very limited features, so we can do way less on them than on normal Jira issues. What is more, these templates by default have no hierarchy. So this in some cases works, but very often it is not sufficient. And by the way, check our, you can expect a video coming soon about where we can use basic tasks and where they really make sense. Okay. But in that case, what else can we do to simplify creation of that kind of template? BigPicture offers another functionality that for which that kind of use might not be obvious right away. And this is cloning existing scope that is available in the issue creation in BigPicture menu. So what it does, it basically takes the scope of existing box, clones it to selected project and puts within our box. So let me first show you my template box. So this is the box that has all the tasks that I want to reuse across my future projects. And you can see that this looks pretty nice. So I have hierarchy of tasks, over here 3 levels. I have dependencies, they are planned on the timeline. These are Jira issues, so they may store a lot of information in the custom fields and so on. So there might be work estimations on them. So there is a lot of information that we can store in this template. Now I'll return to my empty project and let's look how it works. So I will select clone existing scope. What I'm doing is I'm selecting template box. So the box that I've just shown you with all the issues that were there. And I'm selecting Jira project to which these issues will be copied. So basically, BigPicture will take issues from this box and clone them into this project. So I have a clone project that I will select, and let's hit clone. So it will take a moment, but you will see that in a few seconds, issues will appear over here. Okay, so after the load is done, we will refresh the page and see what was the result of our cloning of existing scope. Okay, so we see we have project. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So what we see over here is we have the same structure that we had in our box, in the template box. We have tasks planned on the timeline to the same length as the tasks in our template box. The dependencies are here, and also we cannot see it really over here, but all the values of the custom fields and in general everything that we stored on the issue level is here. So this looks really nice. This is a great feature to allow you to start working on your project very fast. Although this feature is very useful and very helpful, there are some limitations to it that you need to be aware of. First of all, you need to remember that we're cloning tasks inside Jira. So if we will be cloning them between different projects, depending on the settings of these projects, you might lose some information. So for example, maybe in your target project, there will be no custom fields that you're actually using in the project based on which your template box is. So you will basically, while doing this cloning, you will lose part of the information. Same goes for the issue type. If in target project issue type, specific issue type is not there, BigPicture, or basically BigPicture will create a story or the task type of issue. So basically, project on which template box is based and from which issues we are cloning should have the same configuration as the target projects to which we clone. So we usually advise our customers to have standard Jira project, that is standard Jira project settings that are being reused across multiple projects, and use always the same settings when we want to make use of this clone issues feature. So this was first thing. Second thing, even with that, you may lose some information. So let's look for over here, for example, in my template box, top level most tasks were epics. Over here there are stories. So although structure was maintained, so it looks good from that perspective, epics were converted into stories. So if you really rely on epics, you will have problems with that. And the third thing is that if you have required custom fields that has to be provided while issue is created in your project, this mechanism will have problems with it too. I know that it is still being developed and improved, so I hope that most of these problems go away with the future. But for now, these are the limitations that we're working on and that you need to be aware of. So I hope that this one's been useful for you. If for some reason, from one of the limitations that I mentioned, it is not meeting your criteria, so you really need some of these things, let us know. There are other ways around that, using Jira itself, but also other apps that the way we can help you introduce and basically address the same problem that we have over here. But in our experience, in most of the cases, this is really sufficient. This, and maybe merging it or kind of mixing it with using basic task templates. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hear you in the next one.